Tiger Sports Live right here on 1580, 103.3 WPKY and at WPKYonline.com. You can also follow all the Caldwell County sports teams at YourSportsEdge.com. There's a whole section for Caldwell County Tiger fans if you like what you see. Download the YSE app. It's free. It's a new day for sports coverage for Tiger fans. YourSportsEdge.com and WPKY support Caldwell County sports.
Serving Caldwell County since 1950. We're 1580, 103.3 WPKY Princeton.
You can hear Tiger Sports Live right here on 1580, 103.3 WPKY and at WPKYonline.com. You can also follow all the Caldwell County sports teams at YourSportsEdge.com. There's a whole section for Caldwell County Tiger fans if you like what you see. Download the YSE app. It's free. It's a new day for sports coverage for Tiger fans. YourSportsEdge.com and WPKY support Caldwell County sports.
And good evening, everybody, and welcome to Morton's Gap, Kentucky. This is WPKY coverage of high school girls basketball. Tonight, the Lady Tigers on the road to take on the Hopkins County Central Lady Storm. We'll have all the action coming up, starting out with the the Goodwin Insurance pregame show. Sorry to our friends at Goodwin Insurance. We'll be back to start out with that pregame show and take a look at this game as Caldwell County looks to pick up another district win after the big win over Dawson on Thursday night. We'll have all that action coming your way in about 90 seconds, so stay tuned. This is Lady Tiger basketball on 1580, 103.3 WPKY and worldwide at WPKYonline.com.
It's a brand new year. Cozy Living Interiors and Boutique Princeton would like to say thank you for your business in 2018, and they are excited about what the new year will bring. They're offering a great special for the first of the year. Buy any size mattress and get your box springs half off. There's also 2% off the store, and their boutique is priced at 30% off. Cozy Living Interiors and Boutique, located right next to the bowling alley in Princeton. Stop in soon and take advantage of these first of the year specials. Buy any size mattress, get your box springs half off. 10% off the store and 30% off the boutique. Cozy Living Interiors and Boutique Princeton. Everything a home should be.
Here's a reminder from your Princeton Electric Plant Board. Meter tampering is dangerous. Tampering with an electric meter is not only dangerous, it is dishonest and against the law. Stealing electricity by tampering with an electric meter may result in your arrest and can even risk your life. Tampering with meters results in increased utility bills that everyone has to pay. If you see anyone tampering with an electric meter, call the Princeton Electric Plant Board right away at 270-365-2031. Princeton Electric Plant Board, Princeton's #1 energy source.
This is Carol at the Woodall Agency at 110 West Washington Street in the heart of downtown Princeton. Our agency is proud to have been a part of this community since 1907. We want you to come by and see us soon. We may be able to save you some money on your home, auto, motorcycle, or mobile home insurance. We offer discounts for good students, multi-policy, safe drivers, and many more. We appreciate our loyal customers, and we will work hard to make you feel like part of the Woodall Agency family. Call me today at 365-5541.
The game is not far away. It's time for the Caldwell County pregame show on 1580, 103.3 WPKY and worldwide at WPKYonline.com.
And welcome back to Hopkins Central High School. Dennis Stevens along with Bob Hayes and John Miller. WPKY's coverage of girls high school basketball as the Lady Tigers take on the Lady Storm tonight here at Morton's Gap. Bob, it's a good night for some basketball here on a Saturday night. We have a few of those this season, so just a girls game tonight as the Lady Tigers hit the stride in the district with games against their three opponents. Thursday night it was Dawson. Tonight, Hopkins Central. Big doubleheader coming up on Tuesday as the boys and girls will be at Madisonville to take on the Maroons.
And then after that game on Tuesday night, Dennis, with what I call the big three in the 7th District, Dawson, Hopkins Central tonight, Madisonville on Tuesday, we play in the 2A Classic against a real formidable Webster County team on Thursday. So these girls will be playing a lot of basketball here in the next 5 days.
A lot of basketball and a lot of tough opposition coming up for the Lady Tigers. This is the Goodwin Insurance pregame show brought to you by our friends at Goodwin Insurance Agency. They are your locally owned independent insurance agency capable of handling all of your insurance needs. So contact Goodwin Insurance today for a free quote. Caldwell County comes into this game 7-6, picked up a win, big win over Dawson on Thursday night. So the record above 500 right now. Everybody seems to be reasonably healthy for the Lady Tigers, so we expect this to be a good district matchup for Caldwell County.
And also Hopkins Central comes into this game with a losing record, 7-8, having lost last night to Henderson County by 8 points and lost earlier in the year to Madisonville. So Hopkins Central has played those two teams tough, normally two of the top teams in the region, but they've also been destroyed by Webster County, which probably is the between Webster and Christian County, maybe the two best teams in the second region.
Yeah, I think in the girls, I think it's Webster County's to lose this year, as they are beating everybody bad, not just Hopkins County so far this season, but it was 60-16 when Central played Webster County. So that gives you a little bit of a measuring stick between the top and where Caldwell County and Hopkins Central come in right now, kind of middle of the pack in the region. We'll have Madisonville, of course, second, and it goes Hopkinsville, UHA, Henderson, Crittenden comes in at 7-5 right now. Caldwell County right in the middle of the pack, and just a couple of spots down is Hopkins Central. So this ought to be an evenly matched ball game tonight. If Caldwell County can come out, take care of the ball tonight, keep everybody out of foul trouble. I got a feeling that foul trouble is going to be the one thing that can be detrimental to the Lady Tigers tonight. They need to keep all the starters on the floor as much as possible early. We don't need anybody going to the bench for extended minutes, 6-7 minutes of the first half like we have at times this season. If they stay out of foul trouble, keep sharing the ball and shooting well, I think this one is a game that they should be the favorites in.
And it's the other thing is we've always said the last couple weeks, Dennis, turnovers will play an important role in this game. Also free throws, and for a couple key people, and we're looking down this roster of Hopkins Central, we've seen 3 or 4 of these names out here for a long time, like Gabby Baxter, Nakia Eichert, Kiara James, and Madeline Tao. So it's an experienced Hopkins County Central Lady Storm team, and we just really match up well, I think, with them. It should be a very entertaining, competitive basketball game.
Yeah, you talked about Tao and Eichert. Eichert, the leading scorer for Hopkins Central at almost 11 points a game. But, Bob, the thing about Hopkins Central is they really spread that offense around. There are several girls in the books. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 kids with scoring averages in Hopkins Central games this season. So they're going to share the ball around. Eichert, probably the best player on the team. She'll rebound really well. Tao, probably one of the better shooters. She may shoot several threes tonight as she's one of the leaders on the team in three-point attempts. So we've got to have the perimeter defense as well as the job getting done underneath by the Carson Parkers, Bella McConnells, Morgan McDaniels, players like that can go in, get the rebound, block out well, and stay out of foul trouble.
And when you mention the scoring averages for Hopkins Central, in the JV game, which just concluded here, Caldwell County losing by 1 point, they'll probably press us. So they'll have people, 8, 9 players coming in playing 8 or 9 players all the time, handling the press that Hopkins Central more than likely will throw at us. We'll find out here shortly, but I think both teams, as we've mentioned, are competitive and certainly evenly matched, and shooters on both sides. So we've got to rebound well tonight.
We're just about 6.5 minutes before we tip this one off here at Morton's Gap. Bob, the other night we didn't know if Coach Thomas was going to come up after the game at Dawson. She didn't see our broadcast position, so we kept looking for her. In the meantime, we had called up a couple of players. One that impressed us on Thursday night at Dawson was Lucy Goffinette. She's doing a good job rebounding. She's starting to look for her shot a little bit, so that could be an added weapon as Caldwell County hits this district stretch right here in the middle of the season. If they can get some points and a little bit more production out of Lucy Goffinette, this team goes up quite a bit.
And not only did she bring her offensive game the other night in Dawson, she brought her defensive game as well. And she's quick and fast and really is a good defensive presence out on the floor. And I think obviously bothered Dawson the other night. Our ladies won that game 40-19, and she was really dominant out front on guarding the guards that Dawson had on the floor. So you find people now beginning to emerge in the second half of the season, and Lucy had a great game the other night. So I'm looking for better things and good things out of her, as you just mentioned.
And one thing that we were impressed with that we talked about as we were packing stuff up at Dawson the other night, making the trip home, we got to interview Lucy Goffinette, also Bella McConnell. And the thing that stood out to us more than anything, I think, was the way they talked about team. It wasn't anything about their individual performances that night, even though I think Bella had somewhere in the neighborhood of 19 rebounds against Dawson on Thursday night. They never once mentioned how good they were doing individually. It was all how they were doing as a team and how they were coming together and the things that were starting to work for them as they get into district shape.
And again, we have to shoot the ball well, and that's one thing we're not doing right now. I don't think we're not forcing any shots. It just seems like that we worked the ball well the other night against Dawson, and in the tournament, the Christmas tournament. So it is an improving ladies basketball team.
Yeah, and you've got some play out of the point guard position is really starting to come to Jada Boyd. She's taking the shot. She's driving the lane with that little runner when she needs to, but she's also able to pull up in the lane just shy of the free throw line sometimes, make that short jumper. But she's controlling the ball much better. And just looking back at this time last season, I think the turnover rate, if that's something KHSAA had, I think the turnover rate for Jada Boyd would be quite a bit lower this season.
We've taken really good care of the basketball lately. I don't know how effective. If Central runs their press tonight, in years past, they've had a pretty decent press that they could throw on you. We've been over here every year for the last 5 years, and it just seems like they get after you early and often.
Yeah, it's going to be a matter of turnovers and staying out of foul trouble. You're right tonight for Caldwell County to pick up this win. It would be huge to go in to the District 2-0 as they take on Madisonville next Tuesday night. If they could come out and score the upset against Madisonville on Tuesday night, if they were to win tonight and Tuesday, then they would have the #1 seed for the district tournament and in all likelihood face Dawson in the first round.
And again, Dawson probably would have. They played pretty well this year. They just couldn't get going the other night with our defense. The pressure that we were putting on their outside guards, they just could not work the ball inside to Aaron Orton, who probably averaging their leading scorer.
Yeah, I noticed that kid was limping a little bit after the game. I don't know if she played hurt against us Thursday night. But it was not her usual performance, we'll put it that way.
Exactly, and Dawson, we saw the boys last night run up and down the floor and shoot the ball from anywhere on the floor, it seemed like.
Yeah, 85 points in 3 quarters. That was fun to watch last night. Yes. Just about 2.5 minutes before we tip this one off, and about this time, every time we have a broadcast, we'll say a prayer for these kids, and we'll do that right now. Holy God, thank you for another night at the gym. We ask that you protect each student that steps on the court tonight, and we also ask that you bless the efforts of each student in ways they never thought possible.
And further, Lord,
we pray.
And further, Lord, we ask you to give courage and sportsmanship to the players, patience and understanding to the coaches, wisdom and knowledge to the game officials, and lastly, peace to us all. We ask these things in your precious name. Amen.
Amen. Starting lineups not far away tonight. Looking forward to this one as we complete the trifecta this week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday night. A lot of fun times at the gym this time of year. If you like basketball, this is the best time of the year.
Just after New Year's and a 55-degree day today. And no snow to contend with, and tomorrow more or less the same thing. It may have a chance of rain, as I understand, but
the only thing that kind of spoiled today going from the course to the gym was UK's performance in Alabama as they come up a little bit short. Had a shot there at the last 3 seconds, I think, as Hero missed from the top of the key, but That's been the only blemish so far today. We're looking for a fun time tonight here as the Lady Tigers are getting set to take on the Lady Storm. Just about a minute away from the starting lineups being introduced.
Hopkins County Central going to the bench. The Lady Tigers down here to our left. Now heading back to their bench, and we were 40 seconds away from the opening tip-off. And Dennis, I'm not sure whether I can stand for, if we have the national anthem. We might have to. We're locked in up here. We're at mid-court, but just about at the second level, and you just can't breathe up here behind this bench that we're on.
Yeah, we are almost custom seated in these seats up here, form fitted to us.
We might have to get the jaws of life to get us out of here after the game.
I'm going to attempt to stand up.
I will try.
And we'll let the mics go on the national anthem.
And we're back here at Hopkins County Central Gym, having just heard the national anthem and now getting ready for the introduction of the players. And Caldwell County, being the visitor team, will be introduced first. First Lady Tiger to be introduced is number 3, Peyton Young.
The lone senior on this year's squad.
Number 20, Bella McConnell. Number 21, Jada Boyd coming out. Number 31, J.C. Jaggers being introduced. And the 5th and final starter for the Lady Tigers, number 33, Carson Park.
Same starting lineup as took off against Dawson Springs on Thursday night.
And now the Lady Storm. Coming out first is number 5, Samaya Stafford. Number 3, Gabby Baxter. Number 14, Kiera James. And number 22, Nakia Eichert. And 42, Madeline Towle. Those are your 5 Lady Storm starters. We had initially been told that number 2 would start tonight, but Kiera James gets the start over her. Teams are moving to midcourt right now. The first quarter is being brought to you by Cozy Living Interiors and Boutique, located next to the bowling alley in Princeton. Stop by and see Pam. See what kind of sales and discounts you can get on purchases out there. Cozy Living, everything a home should be. Officials now moving to the jump circle, and for the call here in the first quarter, Tiger Sportscaster Dennis Stevens.
Thank you, Bob. Tip-off is brought to you by Farless Realty. First time I've ever seen 9 out of 10 players set up on one side of the court for the tip. Hopkins Central controls it, and they'll bring it out to Eichert at the point. Eichert down to Baxter. Baxter has it knocked away by Young, picked up on a nice play by Stafford. Stafford being guarded by Boyd. Stafford free throw line high, works it over to James. James hands it back off to Baxter. Looking underneath for Eichert. Good denial by Carson Parker. Instead, they take it to number 5. That is Stafford. Shot up no good. Central comes back with the rebound. They'll drive again. This time it is Eichert up off the glass and good. 2-0 Hopkins Central, scoring off the offensive rebound.
Hopkins Central getting off about 4 shots in that possession.
1-3-1 zone by Hopkins Central.
And no press to start the game.
Jaggers gets it over to Boyd. A lot of contact, no call. It's Young underneath to Parker. Parker has her shot blocked by Eichert. It'll stay Lady Tiger basketball. Bob Eichert's surely a senior by this time.
She's got to be.
We've seen her, it seems like, for 4 or 5 years. Young from the right corner, no good. Bella McConnell with the offensive board goes up, no good. They're going to call a foul, but they're going to say on the floor.
And the
foul
foul.
on Lady Storm is going to be on Stafford. So Peyton Young will inbound the ball for Caldwell County underneath their own basket. Just underway here at Hopkins Central. Ball looking for Jaggers, deflected by 14 James. She goes up for the layup. Left-handed shot good. And the Storm quickly out front, 4-0. Boyd down into the corner to Young. They lob it underneath looking for Parker, knocked away again. Bob, there's a lot of size underneath on that zone for Hopkins Central. Those passes are going to be dangerous to just lob up and hope that Carson can go up between 2 people. Caldwell puts it back out to Boyd, almost to half court to Young in the right corner, back to Jada. Goes over to Jagger. She fires a 3 from the left wing, no good. Central with the Storm. She's going to be called for a travel, lost her footing in a group of people. So we'll go to Caldwell County.
And that play looked like 3 Hopkins Central girls were battling for that rebound, and her feet just got tangled up and went to the floor.
They'll run a stack in. Young gets it into Jaggers. Jaggers down low to McConnell. Back out to Jaggers. JC turns down to 3, gets it to Jada Boyd. Central's gone into a 2-3 zone now. Gets it over to Young. Flashing the lane was McConnell. Back over to Young. To Boyd. Jaggers, open 3, left wing, in and stays in. Thought for a second that was going to pop out. 3 is good. Goodwin Insurance 3-pointer. JC Jaggers and Caldwell County within 1. Central with a wild shot up, no good. That was Stafford. Rebound comes down to the Lady Tigers. Boyd's going to take it all the way down the lane, no good. Big rebound, Carson Parker puts it back out to Young. Good job by Parker not to force that one up. Gets it out to McConnell from about 16 feet, and nothing but net. Caldwell County with the first lead at 5-4 on the bucket by Bella McConnell. Stafford drives the lane. She's going to get called for steps, and the turnover hands it back to the Lady Tigers. Checking into the ball game is number 34, Carrie Reynolds, as Stafford will go out of the ball game. Bob, I'm not even picking up number 2 on the bench, so Grigg may not even be in the be dressing tonight. Underneath to Parker, puts a shot up, no good, but pushed in the back as she put the shot up. She'll go to the free throw line, and it'll be the first 2 Lake Barkley CrossFit free throws of the evening coming up for Carson Parker. And I'm not sure, I did see a pair of crutches being passed around on the bench, so I'm not sure if we can read that much into it.
I'm not sure who that foul was on either, Dennis. Oh, here
free
it comes
throw
up on
good.
the
Scoreboard messed up. Now they have it right. 6-4. Caldwell County still waiting on the person the foul was on. There were a couple of players underneath. One shoved Carson pretty good in the back. Second shot, no good. Eichert comes down with the rebound. Eichert met at the top of the key by Parker. Pulls her dribble up at the free throw line. Changes sides. Across the lane, up and in. And that is number 42, Madeline Towle. Caldwell quickly down into the corner. 3-pointer, no good by Young. Bella McConnell saves it, and they're going to call her for steps. I'm not sure about that one, Bob. It looked like she leaned out, kept the ball from going out, but I never saw her pick up the pivot foot.
I didn't see her pick the pivot foot up either.
Central quickly back the other way. It's Reynolds, top of the key. Up, no good. Ball still bounding around. It's going to go out of bounds off of Central. That was Gabby Baxter trying to save it for the Lady Storm, not able to do it, stepped on the baseline, and it's Lady Tiger basketball. 4:22 to go here in the first quarter. This one's tied up at 6. Caldwell brings it down to McConnell, free throw line, no good. Thought she had some contact on the shot, not called. Eichert brings it back up for Central, gets it over to Reynolds. Reynolds loses the ball out of bounds, but they're going to say it's off of Boyd, and it'll stay Lady Storm basketball. Both teams pretty tenacious on defense here in the opening quarter. As McConnell's going to go out of the game, Lucy Goffinet gets her first action. Inbound comes out to Baxter. She launches, no good. Rebound to Parker. Parker to Boyd. Lob pass up to Goffinet. Goffinet dribbles underneath, puts the shot up, has it blocked. And it's Central the other way. Ball back tipped out of bounds. That was Kiara James with the basketball, had it knocked away, but it'll stay Lady Storm basketball. McConnell back in. And it's Carson Parker taking a seat. Get it into Eichert. Eichert with the jumper, no good. Central with the rebound. Shot no good. Another rebound for Central before Bella McConnell's able to come up with it. And Baxter's second foul called. Team third. I thought the announcer said second. Maybe he did not.
No, it's the third, and I think that other foul went to Madeline Tao.
Boyd quickly on a half-court pass is knocked away by Eichert before it could get to Goffinet. Lady Tigers have it out underneath their own basket. Young to put it in play for Caldwell County. 5-second count on. She gets a long pass out to Jaggers. Long three, top of the key, no good. Rebound to Eichert. Eichert gets it up to Reynolds. Reynolds cross court to Baxter. Baxter middle of the lane, gets the shooter's roll. And it's Hopkins Central back out in front, 8-6. Jaggers is going to bring it up, gets it to Boyd across the midcourt circle to Young, back to Boyd. Young open for a second, 2-3 zone. Central's played zone 1-3-1 and 2-3. No man-to-man so far tonight. Young into the corner to Goffinet. Goffinet back out to a wide open Boyd. Shot no good. Eichert with the rebound. Back tip by Goffinet, but Central still controls. They get it into James. James has her pass stolen away momentarily. Then it falls back into the hands of Baxter, who's fouled on the play. And the Lady Storm will take it out underneath their own basket.
Foul, the Lady Tiger foul by Bella McConnell.
Storm shot from the corner, no good, but the whistle on the floor.
We're going to get Madeline Tao for an illegal screen.
So is that two?
Well, we'll see.
Tao.
No, that's
made that on Hollis.
Haley Hollis.
Central already playing a lot of players. Caldwell gets it across the timeline to McConnell, over to Jaggers, to Boyd, top of the key. Jaggers, free throw line to McConnell. McConnell switches courts, takes it to Goffinet, puts a runner up, no good. Ball loose on the floor, picked up by James. Knocked out of bounds. It's going to stay Hopkins Central ball. 2:18 left to go in the first quarter. Lady Storm lead this one 8-6. Eichert puts it into James. James is going to be picked up at half court by Jaggers. And a pass goes out of bounds. Receiving player went one way, pass went the other. Turnover gives it to the Lady Tigers.
It's always a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, it never works. It never works. She zigged when the passer thought she was going to zag. As Caldwell puts it in play now. 2-2-1, three-quarter court pressure by Central. Boyd breaks that, takes it through the lane, up and no good.
Can't finish.
Eichert with the rebound. Gets it over to James, back out to Stafford. Stafford shot no good. Rebound to Central. They'll put it up from the opposite corner. No good off the back of the rim. Another rebound by Central. And it's James with the board. Caldwell County still man-to-man, but Hopkins Central picking up a lot of offensive rebounds here in the first quarter. Pass goes over to Tao. Tao works it into Eichert. Eichert shot no good. Great position defensively by Lucy Goffinet to limit them to one shot on that one. Lob underneath to Morgan McDaniels. Shot up off the board, no good. And Eichert with yet another rebound here in the first quarter. Gets it to James. James to Stafford. Stafford drives, left-handed shot, no good. Tao gets the rebound, but she's going to be tied up underneath. And the possession arrow is going to go to the Lady Tigers. 1:12 left. Caldwell trails this one 8-6. Parker back in the ball game. Boyd goes to the bench. That'll move Jaggers to the point. Probably Caldwell County's biggest lineup on the floor right now. Because you've got Parker, McDaniels, and McConnell. That was James setting on that pass all the way. Read the pass coming towards Goffinet. Picked it off, went up for the layup. No good, but she was fouled by Goffinet. Second foul on Caldwell County in the corner. First on Lucy. But it will send Kiara James to the free throw line. Shot good. James will get the second. This one, good. 10-6, Hopkins Central. Riley Thomas into the ball game for the first time for the Lady Tigers. As Young takes a seat. Jaggers brings it up over to Thomas. Thomas back to Jaggers, underneath to McConnell. Free throw line gets it back out to Jaggers for three, no good. Rebound comes down to Tao. She gets it to Eichert. Eichert stopped at the three-point line by Parker. She'll try to drive the right lane. Stolen away by Carson Parker. Parker pushed in the back after the steal, so the foul is going to be on Eichert. And a good job defensively by Carson Parker.
Nice recovery on that defensive effort. And in fact, I thought the Hopkins Lady Storm ball handler walked before she got called for the foul.
Jaggers brings it up. Caldwell trails this one 10-6. 1-3-1 pressure in the backcourt. Now they'll get it across. McConnell, free throw line, no good. Riley Thomas had good position, has it tipped away into the hands of number 24, Barnes, but Barnes is going to be fouled. That may be McConnell's second, and it is. So 2 on Bella with 22 seconds to go in the first quarter. One of the things we talked about in our pregame, Bob, I had to keep these kids out of foul trouble, and Bella's going to see very limited, if any, action in that second quarter. Central drives the lane. Stafford with the wild shot, no good. Carson Parker with the rebound, gets it to Jaggers. Jaggers hustles it back, gets it to Thomas. Thomas loses control of it. Ball loose on the ground. A lot of contact. Whistle not blown, but the buzzer does. Into the quarter, so after 1 quarter of play, it's Caldwell County trailing Hopkins Central 10-6. We'll be back with the second quarter in 30 seconds. You're listening to Lady Tiger Basketball on 1580, 103.3 WPKY, and worldwide at WPKYonline.com.
Caldwell County, I'm Allie Coleman with First Southern National Bank, and I'm ready to service your next loan. Whether you're wanting to build your first home, buy an investment property, or add square footage for your growing family, we can tailor a solution just for you. Stop by my office at 101 West Washington Street in Princeton, or give me a call at 270-365-3545 to apply today. First Southern National Bank, Equal Housing Lender, Federal Registry 409424, NMLS 1002990.
Back to Tiger Sports on 1580, 103.3 WPKY, and worldwide at WPKYonline.com.
And welcome back to Hopkins County Central. Lady Storm at the end of one quarter lead over the Lady Tigers 10-6. The second quarter is being brought to you by Cozy Living Interiors and Boutique, located next to the bowling alley in Princeton. Beautiful furniture, baby furniture. Stop in and see Jake the mascot, Cozy Living, everything a home should be. Lady Storm inbound the ball here to start the second quarter, and for the call, Dennis Stevens.
Thank you, Bob. Central puts it in play to James. James to Eichert. They want to go underneath to Towel. Knocked out of bounds on the deflection by Goffinet. It'll stay Lady Storm basketball, 10-6. Hopkins Central with the lead as we go into the second quarter play. Central has trouble getting it in, gets it in finally to Eichert, but good defensive pressure by Carson Parker. Bob, both teams have had pretty good defensive pressure so far in this ball game. It's a matter of Central getting some offensive boards and able to take advantage. Three from the right corner, no good. Rebound comes down to Jaggers. Caldwell wants to run. Boyd out with it. Top of the key, over to Goffinet. Has open three, puts it up, and takes a rough bounce to the top of the backboard. But Bob, that's a shot you want her to go ahead and take. She was on line with it.
Right, I almost thought we were going to see something strange. The ball settling on top of the backboard, but it finally did bounce off. Yes, Lucy Goffinet was looking for a shot there, and I like it when she shoots it.
Stafford drives a lane. Great position by probably the smallest player on the court, Peyton Young.
And Stafford, I think, is going to get her second foul.
That'll be a big, if we can get a couple of these starters out for Central.
6 fouls on the Lady Storm, so the next one's a shooting. The bonus will be in effect.
And still 7 minutes to go in the quarter. Boyd gets it across the Jaggers. Free throw line high to Parker. Over to Young, back to Boyd. Boyd to Jaggers. Into the corner on the right side to Goffinet. Back to Jaggers. She'll find Boyd at the top of the key. 2-3 zone. Underneath to Goffinet. Gets it to Parker. Parker has it down low. Out to Young. Good job by the Lady Tigers to get that one back out. Start the offense all over. Goffinet in the left corner now to Young. Back to Boyd. Top of the key. Young steps into a three. And this one takes a tough bounce. Also up on top of the backboard. Rims must be very tight. I don't think we've seen that happen all season long. Twice on the last 2 possessions by Caldwell County. Ball hits the rim and tries to settle on top of the backboard. Lady Storm back the other way, leading 10-6. It's James. Has the pass picked off to Stafford by Goffinet. Possession arrow goes to the Lady Tigers. Goffinet has brought that same defensive intensity that she had on Thursday against Dawson to the gym here in Morton's Gap tonight. Good play so far by Lucy Goffinet.
And that's the 5th turnover by the Lady Storm. The Lady Tigers with only 3 turnovers so far.
Caldwell County is going to be picked up by that zone all the way out at half court. Boyd comes across, gets it to Jaggers. Underneath to Parker at the free throw line. Wanted to take it back to Boyd, overthrows that. Turnover gives it to the Lady Storm. Well, I don't think you can really categorize this as a sloppy game. I think the defensive pressure by both teams is just causing a lot of trouble for each opponent.
It is some tenacious defense being applied.
Baxter guarded by Young. Baxter gets a step, puts a shot up, no good. And better rebounding position by the Lady Tigers the last few possessions. Jaggers comes down with it for the team in blue, gets it to Boyd. Boyd to Young. Caldwell struggling from the field so far, only 6 points, 5:38 left in the first half. 2-3 zone. Oh, they'll lock down that corner. You see Eichert kind of following Goffinet around. Now they'll switch man to man. Timeout called by Coach Thomas. And it is a full, so we'll take 30 seconds along with them and be right back. You're listening to Lady Tiger Basketball on 1580, 103.3 WPKY and worldwide at WPKYonline.com.
America's greatest grill, a Holland Grill from Fortner Gas Company. Holland Grills are the only grills guaranteed not to flare up and are proudly made in America. Stop by or give us a call at Fortner Gas and we will give you the best deal on a Holland Grill. Treat yourself or someone special this season with a Holland Grill from Fortner Gas Company, located on Highway 62 West in Princeton.
Back to Tiger Sports on 1580, 103.3 WPKY and worldwide at WPKYonline.com.
And welcome back to Hopkins County Central Gymnasium. Neither team, Dennis, has scored here in the second quarter. The Lady Tigers did inbound the ball at side center court, and for the call, Dennis Stevens.
Thank you, Bob. Timeouts this season are brought to you by Rousseau Law. Caldwell gets it into Goffinette on the wing, down to Jaggers. Jaggers look baseline. Now she's double teamed in the corner. Somebody has to go to the ball. Goffinette retrieves it at midcourt, but a lot of defensive pressure by the Storm. They're really moving around well. Caldwell County rushed with the offense. They'll get it to Jaggers. Jaggers will drive, kick it back out towards Goffinette. Pass picked off by James. Now James quickly the other way. Puts a bounce pass down towards the baseline. It's knocked away by Boyd out of bounds, and it'll stay Lady Storm basketball. Bob, their defensive pressure has really got us hurrying the offense. Passes are a little bit sloppy. Everybody seems in such a rush. They've really got to slow that down a little bit and take care of the ball. You don't want to get into a real track meet with this team. It's going to be Baxter. Little runner up, no good. Ball tipped out of bounds. That's by Goffinette. Hopkins Central owned the offensive board in the first quarter. Caldwell County's done a much better job of late. They get it into Eichert. Eichert has a shot blocked at the free throw line by Peyton Young, but they're going to say Peyton got a little bit of an arm along with it. And Eichert will go to the free throw line for 2 shots with 4:40 to go in the first half.
Lady Storm are 2 for 2 so far tonight at the charity stripe.
Shot good by
3 for 3.
Eichert.
First points here in the second quarter.
Second shot, no good. Rebounded Jaggers. Central brings the pressure full court. Boyd breaks it underneath to Young. Young puts a little runner in on the baseline. Good. 11-8 now, Hopkins Central. James quickly the other way, guarded by Morgan McDaniels. She'll dump it off to Stafford. Stafford over to James. James gets it to Baxter. Baxter guarded by Young. Spin move. They wanted Eichert in the middle, knocked away, but retrieved. And they're going to call Boyd with a foul. I thought that was just some quick hands defensively. Not a lot there. And the referee completely across the court called that one.
And you have probably 3 possessions ago, J.C. Jaggers being manhandled, if you will, by 2 Lady Storm defenders down in the corner.
Right.
Call.
And I don't get it. We told these guys before the game that we would
help them out if
they
need
haven't
it.
missed a call all season.
I'm beginning to believe they might need some help, Dennis.
30-second timeout on the floor. Timeouts are brought to you by our friends at Rousseau Law. Jeff Rousseau's law firm located in downtown Princeton and ready to serve all of your legal needs. We say that jokingly, Bob. These guys are friendly. We talked to them before the game, and I'm sure they try to do their best night in and night out, but some of them, like we saw in the Dawson game, as the Dawson coach got teed up late in that one for arguing what we thought was a correct call that went against Dawson. But they do a good job, and there are some friendly guys most nights. So.
And I found out in that game the head coach was not on the bench that night because he had been ejected in a tournament game and had to sit out 2 games. So.
Okay. Inbounds pass. They're going to get Jada Boyd with the foul. The pass was going to Stafford.
Jada's just picked up her second.
Bella McConnell already carrying 2 right now. She's on the bench by Coach McDaniels. Baxter with it, drives on Young, and she's going to be charged for steps. Good help defense by J.C. Jaggers. Came over on the right block to give Young some help on her containment of Baxter. So it's Lady Tiger basketball trailing by 8 with 4:05 to go here in the first half. Hopkins Central pulls the press off. They set up in a 2-3 zone. Morgan McDaniels is at the free throw line in the middle of that one. They'll get it to Young, back to Boyd. Back to Young, a little pitch and catch into the corner. Goffinette takes the shot, rolls around, no good. Rebound comes down to Central's Stafford. Stafford takes it to James. James pulls up free throw line high. Guarded by Boyd. Gets it over to Reynolds. Reynolds over to Stafford. Back to James. Boyd's got to be careful not to try to slap at that ball and pick up a number 3. Good steal by Lucy Goffinette. Gets it to Jaggers. Jaggers across the lane to Young. Young's going to dribble it out. Had the awkward angle. Gets it to Boyd. Underneath to McDaniels. McDaniels goes up strong. No good. But she'll go to the free throw line for 2 shots.
And I think Eichert got her.
So 2 Lake Barkley CrossFit free throws coming up for Morgan McDaniels. Eichert with the foul, her first. First shot by Morgan is good. Morgan shot the ball well from the line in that 1-point loss in the JV game. Stafford out and Baxter back in for Central. Caldwell County dropping a couple of players all the way back defensively. And they're going to call Jaggers with a lane violation, so they'll wipe the free throw attempt out. And Caldwell trails 11-9 with 3:15 to go in the first half. Carson Parker back in the ball game as Boyd comes out with those 2 fouls. She'll take a seat by McConnell. Baxter with the ball. Caldwell County's going zone defense, 3-2 zone with Parker out front. Parker wisely gives that 3 area up as she'll be inside as Towel tries to roam the middle. James goes free throw line. They work it to the corner to Eichert. Eichert with the shot, no good. Central with the rebound. They'll throw the shot up, no good. Tipped back in by Goffinette and rebounded finally by Jaggers. Jaggers up the court. She'll play the point in the absence of Boyd. Jaggers, top of the key. Gets it over to Young. Young thought about the 3. Gets it back to Jaggers. Goffinette will launch 3 from the left side. No good. And rebound comes down to Baxter. A little bit of a carry they got away with by James. She'll come down, get it back to Baxter. She'll put a 3 up off the side of the rim. No good. Ball goes out of bounds. And it's Lady Tiger basketball. Bob, if I'm Coach Thomas, I'm going to let them just keep shooting the 3s.
Somebody's going to have to go back and help take the ball in. Yes,
I know she's into it right now because of the foul trouble probably, but Hopkins Central has not shown that they can hit a long 3. They work it down to Parker. Riley Thomas in the ball game, back out to Young, top of the key, 3 off the board. A bank shot, Goodwin 3-pointer.
True bank shot.
And Caldwell County with their first lead at 12-11. Ball loose on the floor, comes back out to James, to Reynolds. Underneath to Tao, she puts one up, no good. And it's Goffinette with the rebound. Young lady that's impressed us with her play all week long. Young to Goffinette out front. Central in that 2-3 zone. Young on the wing. Riley's going to run the point as Jaggers floats the middle. Goffinette from the left wing. Back to Riley Thomas to Peyton Young. Inside to Jaggers. Jaggers with a drop step. Puts a shot up and good. J.C. Jaggers gives Caldwell their biggest lead of the night. 14-11. Lady Tigers just over a minute to go here in the first half. Peyton Young with the steal, but she's going to get called for the kickball.
And this zone has really hampered the Lady Storm.
It has really changed the pace of play for Hopkins Central.
We're dropping the outside people back to the free throw line and daring the Storm to shoot the ball from 3-point land.
Yeah, usually Carson Parker will come way out in the middle of that 3-2. Now she's going to drop back free throw line high to kind of guard Towel. Skip pass across the court to James. James into the corner to Baxter. Baxter back out to Reynolds. She'll launch it well off the mark. Ball loose on the floor, and it's Central up with the rebound, no good. Eichert with the offensive board, throws it off the leg of Goffinette, and Central will inbound with 42.5 seconds to play. Towel comes out of the ball game.
And Haley Hollis comes in.
Haley Hollis, number 40, in for the Lady Storm. Reynolds gets it to Eichert, over to James. Caldwell in the zone. They work it into Hollis. Back out to Reynolds. Good closeout by Riley Thomas on that one. Central has to work it back to the left side. It's Reynolds, a little runner up and in. 14-13 Lady Tigers, 20 seconds to go in the half. Pass too high for Peyton Young, picked off by Baxter of Hopkins Central. She lane, it's going to be off of Baxter. Good defensive play, Bob. I don't know who deflected that ball. As Baxter went for the runner, the deflection went back off of Baxter's leg and out of bounds. So right at 10 seconds to go for Caldwell County to get a shot off here as we close the first half. They get it into Young. Young to Jaggers. Jaggers turns, takes it towards the lane, puts a shot up, rolls and good. At the buzzer as Caldwell County will go into the locker room with a 16-13 lead in a tough, hard-fought game, a good defensive game so far. But Caldwell County has to feel good about where they're at after being down 11-6, I think it was.
Well, 10-6 at the end of one.
Yeah, and then they added one. I think we have run off, if I'm not mistaken, a 10-2 run to close out the first half, and they'll go to the locker room leading this one 16-13. Stay tuned. We'll be back with the Farless Realty halftime show coming your way in just a couple of minutes. Right here on the home for Lady Tiger basketball, 1580, 103.3 WPKY, and worldwide at WPKYonline.com.
With the law office of Jeff Russo. Are you buying or selling real estate? Are you planning on refinancing your existing home loan? If so, you should be aware that you have your choice in which attorney provides the legal services associated with such transactions. If such services, call us today at 365-2763 or find us on the web at www.jeffrussolaw.com. We are located in downtown Princeton on the east side of the court.
This is an advertisement.
Happy New Year from Herb Hayes Furniture and Mattress, the big red interest-free.
What does your morning sound like?
Morning, Al.
Next stop, 32nd Street.
Welcome to McDonald's.
Hi, can I get an Egg McMuffin, please? Here's to making your morning routine a little better with a delicious breakfast from McDonald's.
For authentic Mexican cuisine, head to La Pontesina Mexican Restaurant in Princeton or Marion. Maria's specials are a local favorite you're sure to love. Or you might want to try the new street tacos. Tacos de asada, tacos de carnita, or tacos de chorizo. La Pontesina is now open 7 days a week, Monday through restaurant in Princeton or Marion.
Over time, hearing fades, and you may not notice until you hear the difference.
At Audubell, we fix broken ears. If you're dealing with hearing loss, or if you're not happy with your current hearing aid, come experience the Audubell difference. I'm Donnie Baker, helping you hear well at Audubell.
And for a limited time, mention this ad and get an extra year of batteries for free. Only at Audubell, with hearing centers in Paducah, Murray, and Princeton. Call Audubell for your free hearing test, 554-1900.
Get into shape and feel good at Trilogy Performance Sports in Princeton. Trilogy offers a wide range of classes to help you reach your fitness and well-being goals, like yoga, gymnastics, sports training, team training, cardio, kickboxing, and weightlifting. They have family discounts, and your first class is free. So come work out in a family-friendly environment at Trilogy Performance Sports, located directly behind Cash Express in Princeton. Open 5 a.m. to 9 p.m., 7 days a week. Be better than you used to be at Trilogy Performance Sports Princeton. Telephone 270-601-1824.
Planters Bank, located at 208 North Jefferson Street, is locally owned and operated with a strong, sincere focus on customer service. Planters Bank has a diverse team of seasoned professionals in Western Kentucky and Clarksville, Tennessee. Since first opening their doors, Planters Bank has made a name for itself as an energetic player in the financial services market. Stop by and talk to the friendly folks at Planters and find out about the You Choose Rewards program. Planters Bank, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
The teams are in the locker room preparing for the second half. It's time for the Caldwell County Halftime Show on 1580, 103.3 WPKY, and worldwide at WPKY online.
And welcome back to Hopkins Central High School. We're at halftime as Caldwell County has battled back, and on the strength run to close out the half, they lead the Lady Storm 16-13. This is the Farless Realty Halftime Show, brought to you by our friends at Farless Realty. Are you ready to sell your home? Call Farless Realty today and let a realtor sell it for you. Ready to buy a home? You don't have to waste precious time. Farless Realty is ready to help, and interest rates are still reasonably low. They'll work hard to find you a home that will fit you, your family, and your budget. So contact Farless Realty today at 270-365-5058 or stop by at 323 South Jefferson Street in Princeton. You can check out all of their listings on Facebook and at farlessrealty.com. Bob, a low-scoring, defensive-minded game. Both teams really brought the defensive pressure just about all the way through the half. Caldwell changed the pace quite a bit with that zone defense they went to in the second quarter, but 16-13 scores, so not a lot of stats, but we'll let you cover what you have on those.
You're exactly right, Dennis. And one thing that hurt us in the second quarter was not having Bella out there in the middle, because obviously with their 2 fouls, we didn't want her to pick up her third one. And so you're right. We finished the half on a 10-2 run. And right now we're going to pause for station identification. This is WPKY, Princeton, Kentucky. And looking at the stats for the Lady Tigers in the first half, the Lady Tigers are led by J.C. Jaggers, who got hot late in the second quarter with 2 two-point field goals, 1 3 for her 7 points, 5 points for Peyton Young on a 2-point field goal, and 1 3 for her 5, 2 points for Bella McConnell on a field goal, 1 point for Morgan McDaniels on 1 out of 1 at the free throw line. Her second shot was not taken because of a lane violation. And Carson Parker with 1 point on 1 out of 1 at the free throw line. So the Lady Tigers with 16 points in the first half. The Lady Tigers with 6 turnovers for Hopkins Central, led by Kiera James with 4 points on a field goal, 2 out of 2 from the charity stripe. 3 points for Nakia Eichert on a field goal, 1 out of 2 from the stripe. And 2 points each for Gabby Baxter on a field goal, Carrie Reynolds on a field goal, and Madeline Tao on a field goal. Total of 13 points for the Lady Storm. And the Lady Storm I have with 7 turnovers in the first half. Free throw shooting for the Tigers, 2 out of 2 from the stripe. And for the Lady Storm, 3 out of 4. So an even basketball game as far as turnovers and free throws, more or less. And that's kind of what we see here being played out here at halftime. 16-13, the Lady Tigers leading. We're outscored 10-6 in the first quarter and outscored the Lady Storm 10-3 in the second quarter to lead here at halftime, 16-13. Going to be an interesting game in the third quarter to see how these teams adjust coming out of halftime and whether we stay in our zone, Dennis, because we were quite effective when we went drop back and let them get any kind of shot they wanted out at the arc.
Yeah.
We didn't let them have anything inside with only 3 points being scored in the second quarter by the Lady Storm.
I think we did a really good job on Eichert in that first half, limiting what she's able to do, even though she came up with a lot of defensive rebounds. Central in that first quarter was just wearing us out on the offensive board. That's where they built that 10-6 lead, really, is their work on the offensive board. Caldwell County took care of that, started blocking out a little bit better in the second. But on the other end, Central was really causing us to speed up our offense just way too much. We were putting up some off-balance shots. Finally got that settled down. We were coming down, running the offense. Central did pull a little bit of the pressure back late in that half. But I think it's going to be a big difference maker to get Bella McConnell back into this ball game to start the second half.
It definitely will help us. We were working the ball around the periphery and we became a little bit more effective when we put Morgan McDaniels in the center, and then we moved JC down low, and that's where JC picked up 4 of her 7 points late in the second quarter on being on an inside presence. So good to have Bella back out there. Bella with only 2 fouls. Jada Boyd with 2 fouls, so we're not in serious foul trouble.
This is going to be like a blue-collar win,
Yes.
whichever team pulls away tonight, because this is not going to be one of your your 60-something to 50-something games, as we haven't even broken 20 here at halftime. But the winner is going to play good defense. They're going to rebound well, and they're going to take care of the basketball. And whichever team does that has a good chance. But I really like the zone. We'll talk to Coach Thomas about that. It seemed like it changed the whole pace of play towards the tail end of that first half for Caldwell County.
It certainly did, and we're about 40 seconds away from the tip here in the third quarter. The third quarter will be brought to you by Cozy Living Interiors and Boutique, located next to the bowling alley in Princeton. Beautiful furniture, baby furniture, gifts and registry, home decor, boutique clothes and accessories. Stop in and meet Jake, the store mascot. Cozy Living, everything a home should be. Both teams are at their respective benches. Time has expired here. Caldwell County moving to the side.
Yeah, they're going to go
front court here, and
to the left side.
Lady Storm, the Tigers will be going from right to left on your radio dial. And for the call here in the third quarter, Tiger sportscaster Dennis Stevens.
Thank you, Bob. That'll do it for our halftime show, brought to you by Farless Realty. Give them a call today at 365-5058. James puts it in play for the Lady Storm. Caldwell County is going to stay in that zone. But the one thing that they're doing different tonight is keeping Carson Parker, who usually plays the top middle of that 3-2 zone, back on defense. They're giving the three up for Eichert. Took one there, no good. Rebound comes down to Young. Young gets it up to Boyd. Boyd's going to push the issue the other way. Over to Jaggers, wide open three from the left wing off the back of the rim, no good. McConnell had it for just a second. Ball's loose and picked up by James. Now it's 3-on-2 Central as James drives the lane, has it blocked by Boyd on nice defensive stance. Boyd comes back the other way, gets it up to McConnell, puts a shot up, no good. McConnell gets her own rebound, up and in. Farmers Bank shot, Bella McConnell. She comes off the bench after picking up those two fouls early or late in the first quarter and makes her presence known as she pushes the lead out to 5 for Caldwell County at 18-13.
Real strong rebound that time by Bella, not to be denied.
Baxter turns down to 3. Good closeout by McConnell. They work it into Eichert. Eichert into the corner to Stafford. Underneath to Towle. Towle too easy, up and in. As Central work the ball around to Madeline Towle. And the lead back at 3 for Caldwell County. That seems like a scoring flurry after what we saw in the first half. Get it to Jaggers, right wing. Jaggers to Boyd. They're looking for McConnell, free throw line high. Boyd, top of the key. Need a little more movement or quicker passes as Caldwell County does finally get it into McConnell. She's triple teamed inside. Lowers her head, gets away with a push off, puts the shot up, goes to the floor, just hammered. And she'll go to the free throw line. 2 Lake Barkley CrossFit free throws coming up for Bella McConnell.
We think it's on 42, but yes.
Second on Madeline Towle. Free throw well short by McConnell. That's probably just a matter of sitting on the bench and not really being in the flow for quite a while now. McConnell will get a second. This one good. 19-15. Caldwell County Lady Tigers lead this one. James quickly the other way. Stopped by Parker. They'll work it over to Stafford. Into the corner to Eichert. Eichert with a tough angle. Caldwell County's Boyd comes up with the rebound. Lady Tigers have numbers 3-on-2 to Jaggers. Good on the Farmers Bank shot. J.C. Jaggers with the bucket. And the Lady Tigers with their biggest lead at 6, 21-15.
A classic 3-on-2 fast break then.
Good deflection by Young, picked up by McConnell. She'll get it to Jada Boyd. Jada drives the lane. Going to be a blocking foul called on James.
And they're going to say it occurred on the floor.
So Peyton Young will inbound. Young all the way out to Jaggers, to Boyd. 2-3 zone by Hopkins Central. Over to Young on the wing. Gets it inside the lane to Parker. Back out to Boyd, to Jaggers. McConnell flashes the lane, gets it back out to Young. 3 from the right wing, no good. Long kick on the rebound, goes out to Central. And it's Stafford quickly back for Hopkins Central. She drives the lane to Eichert. 3 from the corner is good. And just like that, Eichert ties the ball game up. Excuse me, 21-18. I thought they put that up already. Boyd. She'll go to the free throw line as she drives the lane. Bob Caldwell's done a great job not fouling, other than, McConnell getting in trouble in that first quarter, and then Boyd a little bit there late in the first half.
And we're attacking the basket, too.
Free throw gets the nice roll. Lake Barkley CrossFit free throw. Jada Boyd goes in, enhancing athletic performance locally since 2014. That's Lake Barkley CrossFit. Second free throw, good. 23-18. 3-2 zone by the Lady Tigers. Eichert from the corner again, no good. Rebound goes to Jaggers. Jaggers tiptoed the baseline, kept it in bounds, and she'll bring it back the other way. Young back to Jaggers, to McConnell. McConnell with the head fake, gets it over to Boyd. Boyd slices through the lane, shot good, and she'll go to the free throw line. Farmers Bank shot for Jada Boyd, and she'll have a free throw to try to tack on and complete the three-point play.
Another example of us attacking the basket. Great job by Jada then. Great working of the ball.
Some nights Jada's vision in that lane is just remarkable as she weaves in and out of much taller players. 25-18 Caldwell County. Free throw, good. Caldwell County stretches it out to 8 with 4:30 to go in the third quarter. Good job by Parker to shut that one down top of the key. James wanted to go inside as they are looking for Hollis. They get it over to Eichert. She drives around one player. McConnell somehow did a tightrope act on the baseline, kept it in, gets it back out to Young. Over to Jaggers, thought about the three, gives it back to Boyd. Phenomenal play by Bella McConnell to keep that one in bounds. Down low to Parker. She's double teamed, gets it back, and it's going to go off of Stafford. Bob, you got to liken McConnell on the other end to a receiver in the NFL keeping 2 toes down on a reception. That's how close she was to going out of bounds on the other end. Young into McConnell. McConnell drives the lane, runner up off the board. Farmers Bank shot, Bella McConnell, and the lead now at 10 for Caldwell County after being down 11-6. McConnell may have picked up the third, though.
She a little bit too aggressive.
That's how she plays, though. You can't fault her for it. She really goes at it. She plays hard every possession, but she will have to go to the bench with that third foul. Lucy Goffinette back into the ball game for the Lady Tigers.
And I guess we've got a timeout call here.
Let's see if this is a full or a 20. It is going to be a full. We'll take one with them and be back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Lady Tiger Basketball on 1580, 103.3 WPKY, and worldwide at WPKYonline.com.
Home for Tiger Sports, 1580, 103.3 WPKY, and WPKYonline.com. Tiger Sports coverage is brought to you in part by Taco John's, Caldwell Medical Center, Farmers Bank and Trust, Black Patch Grill, Goodwin Insurance, Dr. Carl Hinton, Jeff Russo Attorney, First Southern National Bank, Little Caesars Pizza, and by McGregor Group Heating and Cooling on 1580, 103.3 WPKY.
And welcome back to Hopkins County Central. The Lady Tigers out to a 10-point lead here in the third quarter, 28-18 over the Lady Storm of Hopkins County Central. 3 minutes and 41 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Both teams still at their respective benches. And the Lady Storm will inbound the ball when we come back to action. They're still not on the floor yet. And for the call here in the final 3:41 of the third quarter, Tiger sportscaster Dennis Stevens.
Thank you, Bob. Caldwell County riding a big wave all the way back to the second quarter, 22-7 run as they have the first double-digit lead of the night. Central with the pass in, quick shot up, no good. And it's going to be Hollis with the rebound. She puts the shot up no good, but she'll go to the free throw line. We'll see who they got the foul on for Caldwell County. Carson Parker with the foul, only her first, and only the second on the Lady Tigers here in the third quarter. Hollis shot good. (28-19). Second shot, good also. Lead down to 8. Central's going to come with that pressure. Young gets it into Goffinette. Goffinette to Boyd. Boyd has the pass stolen and put up and in by James. Goffinette doesn't have a dribble, has to cross-court it all the way over. Knocked out of bounds by Stafford.
A little bit rattled.
And this is what Central did to Caldwell County in that second quarter with the pressure defense. Young to inbound. Get it into Jaggers. Jaggers is bumped, and they're going to call a travel on her. A lot of contact. Even the Central player is laughing about that. Jaggers just pats her on the back, says, I know. Wow.
How do you miss that call, Dennis?
It was about 4 feet away.
Yeah.
So Central back within 6 and the ball. Caldwell County's going to stay in that 3-2 zone. It's going to be James, free throw line high. Kicks it back out to Stafford to Eichert now on the left corner. To Stafford to James. They work it around underneath the Reynolds.
And a jump ball. Has to be a jump ball.
It's going to be foul on. Did they get Goffinette with the body? It is Lucy's second foul.
We might have to go down on the floor.
Yeah, we told these guys we'd help them. We may have to make a trip. Ball up. Almost hits Peyton in the back of the head on the pass. Central able to recover and keep it. They get their own rebound. Stafford with the left-handed shot up and good.
We just didn't follow up on the missed shot then.
A 6-0 run by Hopkins Central has them back within 4. Boyd drives through the lane. She's going to be fouled on the floor. Caldwell County has really been rattled by the defensive intensity when Central turns it up at times. Young gets it into Jaggers. Jaggers to Boyd. Young, right corner. She'll dribble it back out. 2-3 zone by Hopkins Central. Over to Goffinette. Goffinette was open. Turns it down. Gets it back to Boyd. To Young. They work it in to Jaggers. And I think Coach Thomas is wanting a timeout. She was yelling some instruction. And John, it's a 30, so we'll keep it right here. She was yelling some instruction to the team, and they weren't getting the job done like she wanted, so she takes a quick timeout. Timeout's brought to you by Russo Law, located in downtown Princeton, and ready to serve all of your legal needs. 2:25 to go in the third, Bob, and Hopkins Central on a 6-0 run after Caldwell enjoyed that 10-point lead for just a blink of an eye, it seemed like. Now it's 28-24. Caldwell County, they'll have the ball when they come out of the huddle.
The Lady Storm on those last 2 baskets really hustled after the rebound, where we were maybe more or less caught flat-footed and didn't go after them, and that's helped cut the 10-point lead down to what it is right now. The Lady Tigers in possession of the basketball, and when we go back to action, Tiger sportscaster Dennis Stevens with the call.
Thank you, Bob. Inbounding it is Young. Goffinette had the open 3 from the corner, turns it down. Back to Young. She'll put it up. No good. Eichert with the rebound, and Central wants to run. Underneath, Toe. So Madeline Toe puts it back to a 2-point ball game. Central comes back with the full court press. They get it to Young. Young, center of the court to Jaggers. Jaggers did a good job keeping control of the basketball. Back out to Boyd, and they'll reset the offense. Man-to-man defense, one of the few times now for Central tonight. Boyd goes off the screen from Carson Parker. Parker puts a left-handed shot up, no good. And it's Toe on the rebound. Gets it to Stafford. Stafford over to James. James is going to put up a 3 long range, and Central on an 11-0 run has the 1-point lead back with a minute and a half to go in the third quarter. Caldwell County to Goffinette, to Jaggers. Lady Tigers with numbers. Jaggers goes up, and they're going to say it was on the floor as Madeline Toe will pick up the foul. Bob, it seemed like the complexion changed just about as soon as Bella McConnell picked up her third.
It definitely changed when she went out of the game.
Bella's going to come back in with those 3 fouls with 1:20 left to go in the third quarter. Goffinette to the bench. Young underneath to McConnell. She goes up off the board strong, no good. Rebound on the other side by Parker. Her shot's no good, but she'll go to the free throw line and take 2 shots, 2 Lake Barkley CrossFit free throws. McConnell had just checked into the ball game. Caldwell tried to work it to her right off the bat. Parker's shot good. Tied up at 29. Second shot for Parker. Rolls around, no good. Rebound, Madeline Toe. She gets it to James. James comes down, stopped at the three-point line. This one's going to go out of bounds, and it's going to be off.
I think they're going to give it. It's off of.
Off of Stafford.
Well, I think it's off of Peyton Young, but we will take it.
So Jaggers will inbounds. Central will pick up at half court, man to man. Boyd drives, free throw line high, takes off, shot up, no good. Rebound to Madeline Toe. They'll work it back to Stafford. To James. James tries to dribble into that zone. Stafford has it, takes it to the corner. Central got away with a walk, but intercepted pass by Boyd as Boyd is tripped on the play. They're going to call an intentional foul. Stuck a foot out and just tripped Jada Boyd.
And Jada had a breakaway layup on that play too. So I think we get the 2 shots and maybe possession of the basketball.
And I think Jada's dad may have to, I'm not sure if they threw him out or just have him set down.
I've seen that man in the red sweater before in action.
Yeah, you were on the closing end of that one time. First free throw is no good. Jada will get another. That was a very dangerous play, though. Second one rolls off, no good. So we'll stay tied at 29. 38.6 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Caldwell had a 28-18 lead. And then Central reeled off 11 straight points.
Can't disagree with anything over here, or the SS troops will come and get you.
Yeah, they were quick. That was a fast hook, I got to admit. If that were my daughter, I'd probably be in some trouble right now also.
I've witnessed some quick hooks over here.
And some discussion.
I'm not sure who that foul was on either.
I thought it was on Stafford.
That's who I'm going to give it to.
They have not flashed it up yet. 18 fouls, though, on Central. Only 3.5 for Caldwell County. Into McConnell. McConnell double teamed. And the referee's going to get a little bit of a handle on this ball game. They call a quick foul on Madeline Tao.
That's her 4th. No, they call it on 34, Dennis.
Oh, excuse me. Carrie Reynolds with the foul. I don't know. I didn't see Reynolds in the action. Free throw by Bella McConnell is good. Lake Barkley CrossFit free throw by McConnell puts Caldwell County back out in front 30-29. She'll get the second. This one good. 31-29, 35 seconds as Hopkins Central brings it down to court. Reynolds gets it back to James. James to Baxter. Over to Reynolds, right wing. Back out to James. She goes top of the key, gets it back to Reynolds. Reynolds not even looking at the open three.
No, she's not going to shoot it, so we need to
15
concentrate on James.
Central appears to be running for the last shot. They'll work it down low now. And a quick foul as the ball went into Tao.
Are they going to get Bella?
Bella McConnell's fourth foul right at the end of the third quarter. So checking into the ball game is Lucy Goffinette. Central has it deflected by Boyd. It's Baxter all the way out to James. James puts up a three at the buzzer. And no good. So after 3 quarters of play, it's Caldwell County 31, Hopkins Central 29. We'll be back for an exciting fourth quarter in 30 seconds. This is Lady Tiger basketball on 1580, 103.3 WPKY and worldwide at WPKYonline.com.
The all-new 2019 Silverado from Chevrolet with the steely-eyed front end that will surely grab your attention. Space, comfort, and convenience all found in its accommodating interior with built-in 4G LTE Wi-Fi makes communicating simple. The new Silverado is mostly steel, unlike Ford, who went with aluminum for better fuel mileage. The Silverado gets you 22 mpg on highway and a stronger truck. The all-new Chevrolet Silverado will still be the most dependable, longest-lasting truck you will ever own. Tri-Cities Incorporated, Highway 91, Princeton.
Back to Tiger Sports on 1580, 103.3 WPKY and worldwide at WPKYonline.com.
And welcome back to for the fourth quarter of tonight's basketball game. Lady Tigers up 31-29. Fourth quarter being brought to you by Cozy Living, Interiors and Boutique. Stop in and meet Jake, the store mascot, and stop in and also ask Pam about what deals she has. Cozy Living, everything a home should be. Start the fourth quarter, and for the call, Tiger sportscaster Dennis Stevens.
Thank you, Bob. This one's going to set up to be a great finish here at Morton's Gap. Caldwell County with the ball to start the fourth quarter. Young with it, right wing. Man-to-man defense. Underneath was Goffinette all alone. Wait for it. Pass a little bit late. Picked off by Hollis. And coming back the other way, Madeline Towle puts a shot up, and we are tied at 31. Full court pressure by Central. J.C. Jaggers breaks that, and she's going to get called for the travel. Wanted to go underneath to Parker, and right at the last minute, James stepped in front of Parker. She had to pull the pass back and could not hold that pivot foot. Turnover gives it back to Hopkins Central. Zoned by the Lady Tigers. Baxter along with James out front. Good denial by Boyd. Now they get it to Eichert. Over to Baxter. To James. Eichert all alone, left corner. Shot up, no good. Rebound, Jada Boyd. And Jada's going to be fouled in the backcourt.
That
might be Towle's fifth.
Definitely. Well, no, she didn't get the last one.
That's right. She didn't get the last one. Should have, but did not.
Correct.
So 4 fouls on Madeline Towle. Bella McConnell still on the Lady Tiger bench with 4 fouls.
And this is a double bonus for Jada.
So 2 Lake Barkley CrossFit free throws coming up for Jada Boyd. First one good. Free throws loom large here in the fourth quarter as this one stays close. Caldwell County had a 10-point lead for what seemed like the blink of an eye before Central reeled off 11 straight. Second free throw, back of the rim, no good. Eichert with the rebound. Caldwell County will come back and set up in that 3-2 zone. James tried to beat it down the court. She slips, falls, and it's going to be a jump ball. Possession arrow is going to stay with Central. Caldwell can't get lazy and be beaten back down the court. They did a good job getting it back just in time on that one. Eichert, right corner, had Jaggers in her face. They get it over to Stafford. Stafford to Baxter, ball on the ground. Goffinette dives, ball still loose. Now they get it back out top of the key. Ball on the ground to Hollis. And again on the ground, Jaggers laying on the ground underneath the basket. Tries to put it to the side, goes out of bounds. Great hustle on both sides. There'll be some Neosporin put on some legs after this one and elbows. James has it for Central, top of the key. They get it to Baxter. Baxter out to Stafford, back to James. James to Eichert. Caldwell County has J.C. Jaggers on that side of that zone with Eichert. Now it's Baxter for 3, no good. Eichert tracks it down in the corner, throws it back in, but picked up by Carson Parker. And it's Jada Boyd wheels around, goes up with the shot. No good, and it's a blocking foul. We had to wait. I think the referees were
looking at each other,
doing some kind of mind games to see who was going to call it first.
And that's 4 on Stafford.
So Stafford's 4th foul sends Jada Boyd to the line. 2 Lake Barkley CrossFit free throws. First one good. Lake Barkley CrossFit has classes designed for anyone at any fitness level, and they're always free to come and try. That's Lake Barkley CrossFit.
Jada 5 out of 8 from the free throw line here in the second half.
Second shot rolls no good. Sneaking in for the rebound was Parker. She's tripped, but the ball is going to go out of bounds. And they'll say it was just incidental contact. Ball off of Parker. Hopkins Central basketball trailing by 2 with 6:15 to go in the ball game. James looks it over. They've got Eichert in the left corner. They'll work it to Baxter in the right corner. James loose in the middle, free throw line high, blocked by Parker. Nice recovery by Carson Parker. Ball on the ground, and they get it up to Goffinette. Goffinette to Boyd. Caldwell County with numbers. Young turns down the open 3, gets it back to Jada Boyd. Boyd guarded man-to-man by James. Wants to drive the baseline. Little runner off the board, no good. Parker had the rebound and actually had it taken away by Jaggers. Jaggers is going to be fouled. We'll see who the hold goes on for the Storm.
They got Gabby Baxter, her 3rd.
So Central in a bit of a foul trouble with 2 or 3 players. Of course, Caldwell County has Bella McConnell on the bench, and poor Bella sitting there just looking at the clock. Shot up for Jaggers is no good. She'll get another Lake Barkley CrossFit free throw, but you know Bella's chomping at the bit to get back into this ball game.
Almost have to bring her back in, I think, at the 5-minute mark.
Second shot, no good. Rebound to Eichert. 2 missed free throws by Caldwell County. They still lead by 2. James has it, top of the key. Over to Reynolds. Back to James. Central got away with a walk. James will try a 3. No good. Rebounded underneath by Baxter. Her shot no good. And it's Goffinette with the rebound. She gets it to Jada Boyd. Jada pushes it up the court. Into the corner to Young. Back out front. And Caldwell will reset the offense with Jada Boyd. Top of the key guarded by James. Young has it. Eichert on Young. Young over to Goffinette. Over to Boyd. Boyd left wing out to Parker. Parker to Goffinette. Goffinette looks it over. She'll dribble top of the key. Picks up her dribble. Somebody's got to come to her. And it's going to be a timeout called from the bench as Lucy Goffinette was tied up out front. Full timeout. So we'll take 30 seconds and be right back. This is Lady Tiger Basketball on 1580, 103.3 WPKY and worldwide at WPKYonline.com.
Associates, we believe our surgical services are truly exceptional. Our highly trained surgeon, Dr. Sue Petty, along with a team of skilled nurses and technicians, provide years of experience in a wide range of procedures, including outpatient, laparoscopic, and general surgery. Let us be your partner for better quality health care right here at home. To make an appointment, contact Caldwell Medical Associates at 270-365-0332. That's 270-365-0332.
Back to Tiger Sports on 1580, 103.3 WPKY and worldwide at WPKY.
And we're back here at Hopkins Central Gymnasium. The Lady Tigers with a 2-point lead, 4 minutes and 46 seconds to play in the 4th quarter. Caldwell County leading 33-31, and Bella McConnell did go to the scorer's table and will be checking back into this ball game. Caldwell County with possession of the basketball when we begin play. Lady Storm just now breaking the huddle. And for the call here with the final 4 minutes and 46 seconds, Tiger sportscaster Dennis Stevens.
Thank you, Bob. I sure am glad that we asked to do this game, go on the road and do this game. This one's turned out to be a fun one. Caldwell County puts it in play to Jaggers. Jaggers dribbles in, top of the key, looks it over, gives it to McDaniels. McDaniels checked into the ball game at the break. She's going to get called for the walk. Got a little excited, didn't have anybody to go to, and the turnover gives it to the Lady Storm. 4:35 to go.
Only the 3rd turnover here in the second half for the Tigers, Lady Tigers.
Yeah, we've taken care of the ball well tonight, I think. James Over to Eichert. She'll launch a three from the wing. No good. Airballed it. And Jaggers comes down with the rebound. JC pushes it up the court. Gets it to Goffinette. Goffinette open. Turns it down. Underneath to Parker. Parker has it deflected, but Bella McConnell fights for it. Gets it back and gets it out to Jaggers. Great hustle play by Bella McConnell. Saves the possession for Caldwell County. Goffinette to McConnell. Underneath looking for Parker. Parker has it go through her hands out of bounds, and a turnover will give it back to Central. Half a quarter to go. Peyton Young and Jada Boyd set to check back in for the Lady Tigers. 3-2 zone for Caldwell County. James over to Baxter. Down to Tao. Tao to Eichert. Eichert's going to drive in, puts it back to Tao. Shot blocked by Parker. Great job by Carson Parker.
I don't know.
Tied it up after the block. They give the possession on the tie-up back to Caldwell County.
How they can call that a tie-up is beyond me. When you physically attack somebody to tie them up.
That was a pretty good tie-up from the side when half the arm is going around the back. Caldwell facing some 1-3-1 pressure. They turn it over. Pass to McConnell, too tall. Eichert dribbles in, little runner, good. And the points off the turnover ties this one back up at 33 with 3:17 to go in the ball game. JV contest came down to the second 1-point win for Central. Parker has it back out to McConnell. She thought about the three. And an injured player for Hopkins Central. That's James back at the mid-court stripe. And she'll get a trainer to look at her as the official had to stop time. She'll have to come out of the ball game. Checking back in is Samaya Stafford. 3:05 to go, 33-33. Good ball game. Not your highest scoring affair you'll ever watch, but a good ball game nonetheless as Boyd comes up against Stafford. Pass down to Young is going to go out of bounds. And Caldwell County will give it back to Central. Eichert's going to go to the point now for Hopkins Central. Caldwell's going to stay in that zone that's been so effective since they got down 11-6. Working inside, steal, J.C. Jaggers. It's 2-on-2. Jaggers is going to take it all the way, has it blocked, but she'll go to the line for a couple of Lake Barkley CrossFit free throws as she's pushed into the pad underneath the basket. Jaggers missed the last two. We'll see what she does with these. These are very important free throws the rest of the way for both teams. 2:41 to go. Shot up and good. Got all starters back on the floor for Caldwell County to close this one out. Bella McConnell, the only one in foul trouble with 4. Jaggers shot off the back of the rim, no good. McConnell has the rebound, has it taken away. And it's going to be Eichert stepping on the line, trying to tap it back in when it came out of the hands of Tao. So Caldwell County is going to keep possession underneath their own basket. Peyton Young to inbounds. Gets it to Jaggers. Jaggers thought about the three, drives baseline, gives it back out to Young. Young dribbles out of the double team to Boyd. Boyd facing James back into the ball game. Pick and roll down to McConnell. McConnell tries to get the pass, but she had Eichert all over her back, so Bella McConnell is going to go to the line for 2 shots as Caldwell's been in the double bonus some time now.
I'm not sure who the foul was on. They don't.
Foul on number 22.
22.
That's Eichert's 4th. Shot good. Lake Barkley CrossFit free throw.
Like
Bella
you
McConnell
say,
will get another.
Like you say, Dennis, free throws are huge going down the stretch.
This one rattles all the way in and out. And Carson Parker is going to get whistled for the foul on the attempt to grab that rebound that was loose. Bob, that free throw was
is in.
2/3 of the ball in and somehow bounces out.
Lady Tigers with a 2-point lead.
Tao and Parker really battling at the top of that zone. It's going to be a jump ball situation. Possession arrow is going to keep it with the Storm. I'm not sure anybody really had possession long enough to get 4 hands on it, but Storm the benefit of that one as it's James out front.
And we're shadowing Tao inside.
It's turned from a 3-2 to more of a box and one as Parker is going to stay with Tao. Interception by Caldwell County's Young.
Are they going to get Bella? No.
No, that was going to go on Peyton Young as Peyton had the ball taken back away from her, but in a hustle play trying to take it back once more, she fouled James.
That's
So
the Lady Tigers' 6th foul. Hopkins Central in the bonus on the next foul.
Over to Stafford. Caldwell by 2 in the corner. Eichert for 3, no good. Rebound comes down to Baxter. She puts it up and in, good. And with 1:40 to go, we're tied at 35. Jaggers has it. Dribbles through a double team, top of the key, into the corner to Young, back out to Boyd. Boyd underneath all alone. J.C. Jaggers, good. Hopkins Central lost all count of J.C. Jaggers. She hits her easiest shot of the night, 37-35, Caldwell County. Lady Storm get it out to Stafford. She walked. Top of the key, it is called. And it's going to be out of bounds, Caldwell County with 1:12 and a 2-point lead. And it's going to be a full timeout on the court. We'll take 30 seconds and be right back. This is Lady Tiger Basketball on 1580, 103.3 WPKY and worldwide at WPKYonline.com.
Have you been a victim of debit or credit card fraud? Farmers Bank and Trust can help lessen your risk of getting taken advantage of. As our customer, you have exclusive access to a security feature in our app that will allow you to turn your debit card off while you're not using it, then turn it on instantly when you need to use it. Keep your information safe. Log into our free app to use this feature, increasing the security of your information right now. Not a Farmers Bank customer? Come down. Let us set up your account and start protecting you from potential fraud opportunities. This is not a guarantee that your information will not be compromised. This is an increased security measure. Farmers Bank and Trust.
And welcome back to Hopkins Central. We're in a barn burner here. 1:12 left to play in the game. Caldwell County leading 37-35, up by 2 points, and in possession of the basketball. So Dennis is coming down, obviously, as
right.
like the earlier prelim game, to whoever makes the fewest mistakes from this point on should win the ball game.
Caldwell with the ball and a 2-point lead, 1:12 to go. Central brings full court pressure, and the inbound pass is stolen away. They get it to Eichert, easy shot up, misses it off the front of the rim and goes out of bounds to Caldwell County Lady Tigers. You talk about dodging a bullet. They got it to their leading scorer underneath the basket with no one around, and she misses the short shot right underneath the bucket.
We didn't dodge a bullet, we dodged a mortar.
Young's going to put this one in play, but Caldwell County has got to get the ball in play. Young's going to call a timeout and set up an inbounds play on the far baseline. We'll keep it right here on this. Timeout's brought to you by Russo Law. Russo Law located downtown Princeton, ready to take care of all of your legal needs. Bob, we talked about it during the break. The girls won 40-19 Thursday night. The boys routed Dawson last night. Those are fun to broadcast. Everybody has a good time. But at least from our vantage point, these are more fun. These tight games right down to the wire. I'm not sure that the coaches and the players might agree to it, but these are fun to broadcast.
Well, they are fun, and the most wide open shot I think Hopkins Central has had all night, and they miss it.
Right.
Big, huge turn of events for the Lady Tigers.
Probably their best player, too.
Yes.
Caldwell sets up. 2 at the key, 2 at the mid-court stripe as Young goes to get it in. Wants to look for Jaggers. Jaggers has it after some trouble and then fouled as she recovered the ball. So she'll go to the free throw line for 2 shots. J.C. Jaggers can give Caldwell a little cushion, but more importantly, a 2-possession ball game as we have 1:03 left to go in this one.
JC 1 out of 4 tonight, untypical of her free throw shooting.
First shot good. This one really important because this will make it a 2-possession ball game. Shot up, good. 4-point lead, Lady Tigers, 39-35. 1 minute to go here from Morton's Gap. Central, top of the key to James, over to Baxter. She'll put up a three from the left wing and nails it. Quick timeout by Hopkins Central, and it's back down to a 1-point ball game. Full timeout, so we'll take 30 seconds and be right back. This is Lady Tiger basketball on 1580, 103.3 WPKY and worldwide at WPKYonline.com.
Come right back after this one.
Rock-a-bye, baby.
She's finally asleep.
Hi, welcome to McDonald's.
Can I get a sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddles, please?
Here's to making your morning routine a little better with a delicious.
And welcome back to Hopkins Central. The Lady Tigers with a 1-point lead and to inbound the ball. And for the final 52 seconds of the game, Tiger sportscaster Dennis Stevens.
Thank you, Bob. Peyton Young to put it in play for the Lady Tigers. And foul is going to be called on Stafford before the ball was put in play with the push on J.C. Jaggers. That's going to be all for Samaya Stafford. A big defensive pressure for Hopkins Central. 39-38 as Boyd will go to the free throw line.
And Hopkins Central waiting for the sub to be inserted into the game.
They'll take advantage of it, probably like a 30-second timeout as they pull all the players back. Checking into the ball game was number 34, Carrie Reynolds. Jada Boyd, 2 shots. First one is no good. Jada will get a second. Lake Barkley CrossFit free throw. Shot short, rebounded by Eichert. 49 seconds to go. James into the corner to Reynolds, underneath to Tao, throws it away, and Bella McConnell with the steal. Central's going to back up into defense. 37 seconds to go. Boyd has to get it across. She's going to be fouled at the mid-court stripe by number 34, Carrie Reynolds.
A chess match going on here. Can we make her free throws?
At the line, Jada Boyd. Her first shot rolls off the front of the rim, no good. She'll get another try. Right now, Caldwell up by 1. Second one gets the friendly roll, good. 40-38 Caldwell County, 32 seconds to go in the ball game. James into the corner, 3-point try is good from the corner by Reynolds. And Bob, we're going to keep it right here, 30 or full, either one. Huge shot by Carrie Reynolds from the corner, hits the 3. And Central back out in front, 41-40. 25.6 seconds on the clock for Caldwell County to work with.
Central's last 2 shots have been 3-pointers, which the Cats could have used today late in the basketball game in Alabama. But we've not shot our free throws well here in the fourth quarter, and it could cost us.
Yeah, that always seems like it comes back and bites you. We're a pretty decent free throw shooting team, but 2 of our better free throw shooters have not been able to come up with them down the stretch. And Central has made Caldwell County pay with a couple of long shots as we close this game. Well, we say close this game out. Every possibility of some overtime going on here is this game. You almost don't want it to end. We've come over tonight, not really on the broadcast schedule. We asked for this one to be added, and it's been well worth the trip over to Morton's Gap. As Caldwell County gets the play from Coach Thomas, they'll try to come out and execute and get the lead back with 25.6 seconds to go. Peyton Young to take it out, gets it in to Boyd. Boyd's going to drive it up the court, pulls it back. 18 seconds. Boyd drives the lane, puts a shot up, off the rim, no good. Boyd gets the rebound, goes up. She's fouled from behind by, no, they're going to call a jump ball. They're going to say towel, tied up Boyd from behind. Possession arrow is going to stay with Caldwell County. 12.5 to go. Young gets it into Jaggers. Jaggers dribbles, free throw line high, over to McConnell. McConnell's going to drive, puts a shot up, off the rim, no good. And Eichard gets the rebound. I think they're going to get Caldwell County over the back of Eichard. 3.4 seconds left, and Caldwell County trails by 1. Eichard's going to go to the free throw line for the bonus, one in the bonus.
Eichard at the line tonight is 1 out of 2.
Shot up, no good. Rebound, Bella McConnell. Jump ball called, and the possession arrow is going to stay with Central. That was a quick 1.5 seconds off of the clock on that one, as it's down to 2 seconds even.
Yes, that was a quick 2.5 seconds. Wonder if they'll review this and put maybe 3/4 of a second back on the clock, Dennis.
Yeah, it seemed like a...
I mean, it was rebounded and tied up.
Right.
And you don't, when the shot misses, you don't start the clock until it does hit the rim and come off. And you're right. I don't think 1.5 seconds elapsed in that time period.
Coach Thomas with her team in the huddle. If Central gets it in, Caldwell County has to foul. If they don't get the steal, they have to foul. And then it's going to be, at best, probably a half-court shot. Carson Parker's going to guard the inbound play, Caldwell's tallest player. Waiting on Central to come out of the huddle. 2 seconds left. Central leads 41-40. This one thrown into Eichard. Eichard holds the ball. Time runs out. And Caldwell loses a thriller, 41-40. Heartbreaking loss for the Lady Tigers, who fall to 1-1 in the district. Central improves to 1-1 in the district. And we'll hopefully get to talk to Coach Thomas after this one. We'll be back with game stats. All that coming your way on the Trilogy Performance Sports postgame show. That comes up in about 3 minutes, so stay tuned for that. You're listening to Lady Tiger Basketball on 1580, 103.3 WPKY, and worldwide at WPKYonline.com.
Tiger Sports, 1580, 103.3 WPKY and WPKYonline.com. Tiger Sports coverage is brought to you in part by Bella Marie Boutique, Bashir Sawmill, Big John's Barbecue, Brentley Furniture, Cozy Living, Varlas Realty, Fortner Gas, Fredonia Valley Bank, Break Wall Chinese Restaurant, and by Herb Hayes Furniture on 1580, 103.3 WPKY, the voice of the Caldwell County Tigers.
Hello, this is Gloria Smith with the law office of Jeff Russo. Are you buying or selling real estate? Are you planning on refinancing your existing home loan? If so, you should be aware that you have your choice in which attorney provides the legal services associated with such transactions. Our law office has over 50 years of experience in real estate law. We pride ourselves on being cost-effective and having a quick turnaround time. If you're in need of such services, call us today at 365-2763 or find us on the web at www.jeffrussolaw.com. We are located in downtown Princeton on the east side of the courthouse.
This is an advertisement.
Get into shape and feel good at Trilogy Performance Sports in Princeton. Trilogy offers a wide range of classes to help you reach your fitness and well-being goals, like yoga, gymnastics, sports training, team training, cardio, kickboxing, and weightlifting. They have family discounts, and your first class is free. So come work out in a family-friendly environment at Trilogy Performance Sports, located directly behind Cash Express in Princeton. Open 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. 7 days a week. Be better than you used to be at Trilogy Performance Sports Princeton. Telephone 270-601-1824.
On this episode of the world's shortest sitcom by KFC. Like I always say, it's the inside that counts. Like what's inside my new KFC 10-piece chicken feast. It's 10 pieces of chicken, 2 large mashed potatoes, and 4 biscuits for $19.99. Get more meal for the family for under $20. That's what really matters. It's pretty incredible what chicken can teach you about life. Anyways, KFC is fairly good. At participating KFCs, prices may vary. Tax and substitution.
For authentic Mexican cuisine, head to La Pontesina Mexican Restaurant in Princeton or Marion. Maria's specials are a local favorite you're sure to love. Or you might want to try the new street tacos. Tacos de asada, tacos de carnita, or tacos de chorizo. La Pontesina is now open 7 days a week, Monday through Thursday, 11 to 9. Friday and Saturday, 11 to 9:30. And Sundays, 11 to 9. And they offer lunch specials Monday through Friday, 11 to 3. Be sure to like them on Facebook for updates and specials. La Potosina Mexican Restaurant in Princeton or Marion.
Happy 2019, Penny Rile Electric members. It's a new year, a fresh start, and a great time to update your account information. Update by April 30th, and you'll automatically be eligible to win one of several prizes, like a 43-inch flat screen TV, $100 cash, or even a $50 Penny Rile Electric bill credit. Update your account information with Penny Rile Electric today. You can do it right there on your phone online at precc.com. Happy New Year, and all the best in 2019 from Penny Rile Electric.
The scorebook is closed on this game. It's time for the Caldwell County postgame show on 1580, 103.3 WPKY, and worldwide at WPKY.
Welcome back to Morton's Gap, Kentucky. A thriller here. Heartbreaking loss for the Caldwell County Lady Tigers as they drop the district matchup to Hopkins Central by a score of 41-40. This is the Trilogy Performance Sports postgame show brought to you by our friends at Trilogy Performance Sports. They are open 7 days a week, and now 5:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. Something new they're offering, you can get your first 2 weeks for free. The whole family can come take anything they offer during that time for 2 weeks for free at Trilogy Performance Sports, where you can be better than you used to be. Bob, that was a tough one for the Lady Tigers. They had the lead late. Hopkins Central used the strength of 2 late threes to overtake the Lady Tigers and hold on to a thrilling 1-point win here, just as the JV game was. Hopkins Central wins both by 1 point. Varsity score 41-40, and with the stats, my friend Bob Hayes.
It was a very disappointing loss, Dennis. The Lady Tigers outscoring or being outscored in the third quarter by Hopkins County Central 16-15, and being outscored in the fourth quarter 12-9. Where Hopkins Central made up that 3-point deficit by outscoring the Lady Tigers 4 points in the second half to win this game by 1 point, 41-40. And a telling statistic here for the Lady Tigers. The Lady Tigers 14 out of 27 from the free throw line in the second half. We see Coach Thomas coming up, and do you want to do it? Or?
It doesn't matter to me, whichever you would like to do, Bob.
Well, okay, I'll do it.
Okay.
And we're awaiting the arrival of Coach Thomas, and she's here. Let her get suited up here. A disappointing loss tonight, Coach Thomas.
This one hurts. This one hurts bad. We made so many mistakes, little things, not hitting free throws, turning the basketball over. I feel like we should be more poised than what we played today, but the great thing is we got a whole lot of more basketball to play, and so we got to learn from this and try to get better and go back at it. You know,
Well,
basketball is not a sport where you can just sit on things for very long. So we're going to learn from it and move on.
well, as they say, you play the next play or you play the next
Right.
game. You learn from what you didn't not get accomplished. And you're right, the free throw shooting doomed us. We were 14 out of 27 in the second half, and you just can't give up that many. Leave those many shots on the table and not score.
Right.
And Dennis and I were talking. The last two baskets they make were crucial threes.
Oh man, they stepped up and made shots.
Yes,
You
yes,
know,
and all night long we had shut them. We wanted them to shoot, I think, from
Yeah.
3-point line. We didn't want the towel girl
Yeah.
inside to have the ball, and we played that fairly successfully.
We did. I'm proud of our defensive effort. I thought we did an excellent job on Kiki Eckert, and you know, it's a game of basketball. It's a game of runs. They made one more run than we did, and they got the hot hand down the stretch and just, you know, knocked some shots down. They had their role players stepped up and made big plays.
And one trip down the floor when Jada Boyd had it on a breakaway layup, she gets tripped. Intentional foul. She can't convert on those two free throws, and I don't think we converted on the inbounds play where we had
Right.
possession of the basketball. You're right. We had opportunity after opportunity after opportunity, and we probably only got about a half a game play out of Bella tonight.
Yeah, you know, Bella plays so hard, and it's hard to rein her in sometimes. We got to get to her. We got to eliminate the silly fouls, though. This is just smacking at people. If we can get her out of that, we'll be in a lot better position. We have to have her on the floor. She's our general. I mean, you know, she controls a lot of things from that post position, which is incredible for a post player to be able to do. But, you know, we got to have her out there. Like you said, she missed a lot of the game tonight because of foul trouble. So I'm looking forward to seeing this Central team again. This is one that I really want back, and so I can't wait to play them again because we let this one slip away, and this one hurts, and it hurts bad.
Well, I thought we had them in every position for the most part. We just, like you say, they stepped up and made two crucial threes late in the game, and we couldn't, on the last free throw that they missed, we couldn't get a clean rebound. May not have had a chance to get a shot off, but when we get tied up in possession, rest with them, you know we're not going to have much opportunity in the last second and a half of the basketball game. But as you say, Coach Thomas, we just got to learn from this. I'm excited for the rematch as well.
Yeah, but you know that's down the road. We got Madisonville on Tuesday. We just got to keep playing basketball. If we can learn from this, we're playing for postseason. We want to get, obviously we want to get a number one seed, but I don't know if I've ever had a number one seed since I've been the coach here. So, so what? We're playing for postseason, and we just want to continue to get better and continue to improve and let the chips fall and just keep playing hard. The one thing I can say about this team, our want-to is back. Our want-to is there. So as long as I got kids coming in and playing as hard as they can play, and we're going to make mistakes, I can live with it as long as we're playing hard. And we played hard tonight, and so I hope we don't let this game sink us, but we learn from it and get better.
Well, I would hope that all our girls would be encouraged tonight, because I thought the play on most of them was excellent. We just couldn't make stops when we needed it, and couldn't step up and make a shot from the free throw line, which obviously was our downfall tonight.
Yeah, and we knew, we've known all year that was going to get us. It's going to get you eventually. When you don't shoot free throws well, it will get you eventually, and it got us tonight.
Hopkins Central, 5 out of 7, did not get many chances, and we played well inside. We didn't foul and hack.
Man, we've been working so hard on defense, especially around the basket, to try to keep our kids from getting in foul trouble. And we're getting better at it. We're getting better at defending without fouling. We showed that tonight, so I'm proud of that. There's lots of things that I can talk about being proud of, and there are a few mistakes that we made that cost us the game. That's just kind of how it goes, and we're gonna move on and try to just keep getting better.
Sometimes, as we mentioned, a couple of our free throws were 2/3 of the way down in the hoop tonight, and then hit the back and bounced out. And you can look at any number of different scenarios coming down the stretch where we could have had this or could have had that, but. All in all, I didn't think we played badly at all tonight. It was two evenly matched teams out here, and we just didn't. We couldn't finish shots. They did finish.
Yep.
with the three-pointers, and that's just how life is sometimes.
That's how the ball bounces.
It is. Any final thoughts before we let you get out of here?
No, appreciate you guys coming over on Saturday evening. It's what it's a fun game tonight. Good atmosphere. District play's begun. It's getting serious for Caldwell County basketball. So we appreciate you guys following us.
And we're looking forward to the rematch as well.
Thank you.
Thank you, Coach Thomas. That's been Coach Melissa Thomas here with us. Lady Tigers tonight in the ball game. 10 points by Bella McConnell. Bella 2 in the first half when she had to sit quite a bit on the bench with her foul trouble. 8 in the second half, a total of 10 points tonight. 14 points for J.C. Jaggers. J.C. had 7 in each half tonight for her 14. 8 points for Jada Boyd. None in the first half and 8 in the second half. 5 points for Peyton Young, all in the first half. 2 points for Carson Parker, both hers coming from the free throw line, 1 in each half for her 2 points, and 1 point for Morgan McDaniels, hers coming from the free throw line in the first half. Total of 40 points for the Lady Tigers, 16 in the first half, 24 in the second half. For the Lady Storm, for Hopkins Central, nobody in double figures, led tonight by Kiara James with 9 points, 4 first half, 5 second half. 8 points for Kiki Eichert, 3 first half, 5 second half, for a total of 8. 8 points also for Madeline Towle, 2 first half, 6 in the second half. 2 points for Hallie Hollis on 2 free throws in the second half. 7 points for Gabby Baxter, and it was her shot. She hit one of the crucial threes coming down the stretch. She had 2 points in the first half, 5 in the second half, for a total of 7 points. 5 points for Carrie Reynolds, and she hit the other shot coming down the stretch in the fourth quarter. 2 points in the first half, and 3 in the second half, and that 3 was the dagger, for a total of 5 points tonight. Total of 13 points in the first half, 28 in the second half. Game total of 41, and that was enough to get a 1-point victory tonight over the Lady Tigers, 41-40. Turnovers look to be evenly matched, 13 for the Lady Storm, 14 for the Lady Tigers, and at one point, well into the third quarter, we'd only committed 3, but we then probably 3 trips or 3 out of 4 trips down the floor turned it over, and the Lady Storm made us pay on a couple of those trips down the floor. So Hopkins Central, there's another telling stat. Dennis, 6 fouls in the first half, 18 in the second half.
Wow.
And as I say, we shot the ball 27 times in the second half and hit 14, just barely over 50%. And for the game, we were barely over 50%, shooting 16 out of 29. So one of those things where you can look back and you just can't dwell on it. Just have to get ready, as Coach Thomas says, for Tuesday night.
Yeah, they did everything except win this when they did the things that they wanted to do. They got to the line a lot more than Central, just not able to capitalize there. And it's funny, you and I describe this game as fun. Coach Thomas comes up and describes this one as one that hurts. So that's the difference in being down there on the sideline and being up here able to bring the games and enjoy the action tonight that these kids put out on the floor. Tough loss for the Lady Tigers, and it doesn't get any easier next week. They'll face the Madisonville Lady Maroons on Tuesday night as part of a doubleheader, and then they'll face the #1 team in the region, the Webster County Lady Trojans, on Thursday night in the 2A Classic. So you're going to face the top 2 teams in the region next week off of a 1-point loss. It's going to tell a lot about how Caldwell County responds. We'll be back with our next broadcast a week from Monday. It'll be the girls at the Cab taking on Callaway County. That one, a 7:30 tip-off. We'll be on the air at 7:15, and then the following night, it's the boys in action also against Callaway County. Same 7:30 tip on the air at 7:15. So we may just ride over and watch a little basketball next week, maybe at Madisonville or Webster, but not on the air again until a week from Monday, as the Lady Tigers will take on the Callaway County Lady Lakers. Bob, any last thoughts on this one before we wrap it up and head back to Princeton?
No, it's just another big week coming up for both Tiger teams. The Lady Tigers, as we mentioned, Tuesday night against Madisonville, as well as the boys. And then on Thursday, both boys and Lady Tigers over in the 2A playoff at Webster County, both opponents being the Webster County team. So big week ahead for Caldwell County basketball.
And it's that time of year as you get down to crunch time, start jockeying for a position in the district tournament. Also, a lot of games. I do think that after we get basically this next week off, we dive in and we've got games the rest of the way out. I don't think we miss a Lady Tiger basketball game from January 24th through the rest of the season, except a Saturday game all the way down at Mayfield for a 4 o'clock tip. So we're going to be on the road a little bit with the Lady Tigers. Also, 7 or 8 Caldwell County boys games coming your way. So it's about crunch time for us also as we start hitting it hot and heavy here at the gym, getting ready for the district tournaments and regional tournaments, hopefully, for the Tigers and Lady Tigers.
And you're right, Dennis. Before you know it, the end of January will be here, and it's just about.
But it made it a little bit more fun, I guess. Caldwell County, though, comes up a point short as the Hopkins Central Lady Storm beat the Caldwell County Lady Tigers 41-40. Both teams now 1-1 in the district. That's going to do it for us here from Morton's Gap. For Bob Hayes and John Miller, I'm Dennis Stevens. Thank you for listening. We'll be back with you again a week from Monday from the cab. So until then, thank you for listening, and we will talk to you later. This is Lady Tiger Basketball on 1580, 103.3 WPKY and worldwide at WPKYonline.com.